it's been a little while since I've done a regular non-Wampler video, hasn't it? Yes, it has. So today I have something that I think is going to help a big majority of people, whether you're a Wampler pedal user or not, whether you're a Wampler amp user or not. You're probably not yet since it's just came out. So I am using the new Wampler Bravado amp right now. So a lot of people ask me about tone controls. A lot of people think that you start with noon on every control and go from there. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not a bad idea, but I definitely would not plan to leave it there. In fact, I did a Euphoria video a while back where someone was using the bass knob and didn't like the way it sounded, and so I had to explain that the bass knob is not meant to, like, you don't start at noon, you start with it off, because that's neutral on the Euphoria. But anyways, I wanted to run through 3 pedals that you probably already have: a tube screamer, a Boss DS1 distortion, and a rat pedal. And the thing about this particular amp, it has a 6-position bright switch, so you can get all different types of brightness. Totally different than a presence control. So if you're familiar with like Fender amps, especially like Blackface, you know, Deluxe Reverbs, Twins, that sort of thing, and even really AC30s are kind of finicky too. But anyways, amps with bright switches. A lot of times the bright switch kind of creates havoc, where clean it can sound really good, but then you kick on a pedal and it's just like shrill and messy and not awesome. So I want to show you a few things I think is going to help you. So right now I am on position number 2 of the bright control on the Bravado amp. My clean tone sounds like this. Okay, now let's say I'm going to run my controls straight up and down. Besides gain and besides volume. Well, volume I'm keeping at unity because I don't want to clip the mic or anything, because it's kind of pain. Drive, I'm going to set the drive. I'll go ahead and set the drive at noon, just for the fun of it. A tube screamer. Okay, so that's a tube screamer with the tone at noon. On to the Boss DS1 distortion. And on to the rat. Well, that is pretty cool, decent. It's not optimal necessarily for my cleans. So on this particular guitar, this Telecaster, not a bad clean. Let's see what a Les Paul sounds like with it. Okay, same thing. Clean tone. Tube screamer. Onto the DS1. Onto the rat. On this particular tube screamer, if I'm using a Les Paul, I'm going to try to crank the tone control up quite a bit because it's pretty dark. But it's going to change the mids too. I do not like that. So Let me compensate at the amp with the bright control while I bump the mic. So I would like that sort of sound more with the tube screamer, for me personally. Now onto the DS1. So that makes that really shrill, right? So we can put the knob control, we can put the tone control down. And again, our clean tone. And I kind of like that sort of sound with this Les Paul just because it's a little bit sparkly. Some Les Pauls tend to be a little bit darker, and I kind of just dig it a little more sparkly. Onto the Rat. Very sizzly. Not digging that, so I'll turn the filter control down. So I like that a little bit better with the filter control. I like the filter control a little bit better than the tone control on the DS1. It's just me personally. But let me turn the brightness control back down to something that's not quite so crispy on the distortions. Okay, so here we are. Same setting on the Rat. Very bright. Onto the DS1. And the tube screamer, of course. Ain't no helping that guy. Just not going to happen on that setting. At least for me personally. But I'm maybe using the wrong tool for the job. So let's see what it does with the Strat. Okay, we're back with the Strat. Now, my clean tone. Haven't changed anything on the amp. Still on position number 2 on the bright control on the amp. Let me turn the tube screamer on now. Okay, so for me personally, I would think that's just too dark of a setting for a tube screamer. So that's where I would want to compensate on the amp for it. So we turn that brightness control up on the amp. I kind of like that jangly thing. Me personally, that's if I'm using a tube screamer, that's probably what I'm going for, and I'm probably using maybe a Telecaster, but probably a Strat. Now, on this same guitar, same settings and everything on the DS1, and again, my bright's way up on this amp. So I think it's just a little bit too shrill. So ordinarily with most amps, you can compensate with the treble control. We turn the treble control all the way down. So you'll find on most amps, like especially the black face Fender type, or even like some of the hot rod, the Fender hot rods, bright maybe just too bright, and off maybe just too off. So I like different degrees of that. So on this different pedal, on this particular pedal, I'm going to compensate with that bright control. Now we'll go to the Rat and do the same thing. Turn the filter down just a bit. So a little bit better, and once again, with this particular pedal and this particular guitar, it could just be not a good fit. But so you may like that sound. I actually use a Rat with the distortion down a bit. That's how I like Rats with the distortion down a bit, just for the type of stuff I play. So as you can see, you can't just go off the tone control at noon. You're going to have to work with the amp a little bit, work with the tone controls on the pedal a little bit to find what you want. There's not like one way to do it. That, like I've said 5 times now, that's why I put a multi-position bright control in there to really help kind of dial that stuff in, where you could just like go to a setting, like, yeah, that's going to sound better with my metal zone or whatever, you know. And then a different setting would be like, I'm going to run the Tube Screamer this song, so let me, dial this back a little bit. So hope this helps you, and if nothing else, just don't look at the tone controls as a static thing. Think of it as something that is constantly going to be moving. It's constantly going to be changing, depending on what sound you want, depending on what guitar you're playing, lots of stuff like that. So I hope this helped. Comment below if you have any questions or comments. And if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you in a couple days. Thanks.